Day 4, Saijakh. Yeah, let's put them every other. How about that? So, I've only just finished ranting about politics, but in favor of them, which I'm sure must sound strange. But I'm going to get into now the reason why I was on about it in the first place, and that is general, socioeconomics, I guess. I don't think I can fit that title into my new intro format, which I think might not be as good as the old one. I was trying to adjust the intro format in particles or pieces so that it would be easier to update just one piece and have the whole thing update correctly. Both the Brave New World and the XCOM series are doing that reasonably well, where all I have to do is change the title and everything else just falls into place. But it hasn't really worked out that way for this one just yet. This redstone is probably not going to be made into bricks. I get the feeling it's sort of a sandstone kind of stuff. Anyways, socioeconomics. Really? What? Why was crap? I forgot. I had this fundamental point in mind before I started recording the previous episode, and now I can't remember what it is. Oh well, if I just recount to some extent what it is we argued about, we both agree they're pretty serious economic problems. You know, he's coming from the Republican side of the fence, sort of. He actually talks as if he believes that the debt is the most important thing we have to deal with. And while I certainly don't like debts, I do not think it is the most important thing. And I also think, he thinks that going after the debt is going to solve our economic problems. Actually, I'm not sure that he thinks that at all, but he talks about it as if it were. And the problem is the debt is not the cause. The debt is the symptom. Shoot, I'm off by one. Which means, dang it. Which means it's gonna, it's only one thick. Shoot. Crappity crap. Dang waffles. Okay. Still dark? Yeah. Look, there's two of them. Two werewolves standing outside my door. I should probably disembowel their human forms when I get the chance. Limestone, huh? You know what? I have now enough to cook me some dacite. So let's do that. What am I hearing? Oh, jeez. Little purple guy. Hey! Jeez, okay, never mind. Oh, and I also wanted to make... I can, in fact. Okay, good. Oh, I have enough. Alright. Superior. So, he addresses the problem as if debt and the welfare taking poor are the problem, and I look at them more as the symptoms, the cause, or not the effect rather than the cause. They are what comes about when you have a system that prioritizes the rich above everything else. Or where basically the rich are given free rein to prioritize themselves over everyone else. Hello. So, can I get you from here? Oh, morning's coming. Morning's coming. Oh, yeah. So, basically, we have been through periods in our history. Actually, we've been through this before, where we are now. But we've been through what the hell? Through periods in our history. Oh, you can do. Come on, faster. Where we've had it much better than we do now. And during those periods, the power and the wealth of the rich was much more... giant scorpion. Was much more... Why would there even be a giant scorpion in this place? Much more regulated, much more controlled. It was not prevented. During the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, there were rich people. There were very rich people. But their influence over the daily lives... I don't want to say that. Their take-home pay was highly controlled. And basically... Was that them turning back? That sound? Okay. Oh. No. That should be enough. Yes, okay. Oh, stone slabs! Okay, I have to make this into this, okay. And then this. Alright. Let's start fixing this up then. Doink, 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 doink. Doink, doink, doink. And here's where it needs to be fixed. Oh. Okay. That's not as bad as I thought. Well, let's just keep going then. So, basically, there's this thing. It still exists technically, but it's actually meaningless. It's called top marginal tax rate. It's this when you earn money, personal income in the United States, which is separate from business income. But keep in mind, people on the right have long tried to argue that they're the same for small business owners, and it really is not true. And a small business owner is not making anywhere near this much money anyway, so even if it were true, it would be for such a narrow margin that it does not apply to this argument. Regardless, basically, your first so many thousands of dollars you make is not taxed. And then your next so many thousands of dollars is taxed at a low rate. And then your next is taxed at a little bit more, and then your next a little bit more. And it's only on the amounts in excess. So, if you make $10,000 a year... and die thereafter because you can't eat anything. But you make $10,000 a year. See, I should have made those so they don't jump. But I'm not. This is a temporary location here, so I'll just suffer. Oh, do I have any more? I do not. Oh, well, it's a fossil anyways. Okay. Might as well leave it like this, huh? No, I really should tear them out. This jumping business is annoying. Yeah, I'm gonna... I'll tear them out at some point. Okay. Limestone. Wool. Why was that green? That didn't look good. I wish there was a way you could cook things faster. Oh, I didn't realize I have all this armor. So much for paying attention, huh? Whoops, that's not what I want to do. Very good. So, let's say the first 7,000 is not taxed, and then up to 15,000 is taxed at 5%. Then you're only paying 5% on the income you make above 7,000. So if you're making 10, you're paying 5% on the $3,000, and that's how it works. It keeps going on like that. You only pay so much percent on this bracket, and then so much percent on that bracket, and all the way on up. It's not that it's suddenly you hit 40%, and your entire income is taxed at 40%. No, only the part above that is taxed at. This is what we call progressive taxation. I guess he's not going away. He doesn't drop anything. What is this? No. Crappity crap. Man. It's going to be difficult if nighttime spawns stick around during the day, I'm telling you. Especially since it's going to keep me indoors forever. Actually, a little guy can come in through there. Okay, so... And for after the Great Depression, which was caused, by the way, by rich people having too much influence over society, basically doing exactly what they're doing now. I mean, the Great Recession we've had is no accident. It was an accident, but I don't want to say it's an accident or not an accident. It was caused by the same thing that caused the Great Depression. The ultra-rich had their way, and their greed caused things to fall apart. They did stupid things. They took stupid risks. They treated workers like garbage, like tools and not people. And they sequestered the money, basically, I would say. And that's really where I want to go with this. Is, like I said, the IT director thinks that debt is the primary problem and spending is the primary problem, and really spending is the solution. Debt is important, but it's not fatally important. Because what he doesn't seem to be taking into account is the fact that money, as long as we're going to accept the narrative of money, which I'm arguing we should probably try to grow out of sometime soon, because it's not doing us all that much good. Especially in this age where we're so highly productive that you can't find enough work for people because a robot can do the work of 40 people, and why would you pay 40 persons to do what a robot can do much longer and much faster? You know what I mean? So it is. Sorry, it is. Jeez, I should not trap myself down here. I should be careful. And by careful, I mean use up my precious resources. Okay. Let me get the rest of these. Jeez, I made a lot of them. More than I remembered. If I'm going to do this, I might as well keep going. And, after the absolute mess they made of the country and the economy in the 20s and the collapse that we suffered through in the 30s, we ended up engaging in some very progressive, very rich, restrictive policies. And it didn't mean, like I said, it didn't mean the rich had to go away. It didn't mean they weren't rich anymore. It meant it's hard to describe. It really is. But they were not as rich. They were still rich compared to everyone else. And given that, what do they really have to complain about? Oh, I can't be richer because of this stupid law. Well, so what? When you wrecked the place. To make yourself richer, you ruined everybody else's lives. And that's, as a nation and as people who must engage in politics, that's the sort of thing we have the right to and really must prevent. There is such a thing as stability, and while I think the American dream is a kind of a dumb statement, what it used to mean, White House or a house, white picket fence, all that stuff, it's not unreasonable. It's especially now that we're getting into an age where we are a lot more efficient in terms of energy use and stuff than we used to be. Oops. Why does that seem further up now than it did before? Anyways. The top marginal tax rate for those years when we actually had a sort of economic golden age and things were getting fixed and people's lives were pretty freaking good. Oh, for crying out loud. Was very, very high let's not do that again. It was between 70 and 90% taxes, but only on the amount. I may do this differently. Only on the amount in excess of what in today's money, because you have to account for inflation, what in today's money would be $3.5 million of personal take-home pay every year. Above that amount, you had to pay 90% of what you earned. Below it was only like 30 or 40. So it was a huge jump. And there was a real, actual point to this that people today don't seem to understand very well. And that is, because if you're making that kind of money, you're essentially engaging in sociopathy. You are, because that kind of money, generally speaking, cannot be earned honestly. It cannot be earned through hard work. It cannot be earned through, it might possibly be earned through invention. If you invent something that everybody in the world uses and you take your little cut of that every year, well, sure, it could add up. But that is the absolute exception. That doesn't happen very often. Let's see here. Yeah, let's do more of this. Wink. That is the exception. For the most part, especially today, where you have, patent abuse and all that stuff, taking advantage of every possible, corner of this scenario. Yeah, looks right. Okay. The only way to make that kind of money is to engage in mass, large scale exploitation of people. And it's gotten so sophisticated that they don't even have to exploit working people anymore. They can exploit people who are not working in order to earn this money. And this is one of the areas where I might actually concede a point to my IT director guy, is with all this welfare stuff we're doing right now, while it should actually be done and is very important to helping people get back on their feet after like a major, like their business shuts down or something like that. It's best if you can get them back on your feet for everyone else, because they can then contribute. Can be a contributor to the economy, which everybody kind of relies on for their livelihoods, So do what you got to do to keep it going, even if that means helping somebody who's currently out of work. But when the system is so overburdened with these people, when there's so many of them, and the things they can spend their welfare money on are limited to weird, often corporate things, then essentially it has become not a welfare system for the people who are out of work, but a welfare system for giant corporations who are exploiting people who are out of work. Okay, so the super rich and the corporations have corrupted a positive, nation protecting, people helping kind of thing into a means of exploiting everyone and siphoning off money. And that's the thing, is for the last 30 to 40 years now, the game has been rigged in favor of the rich, because they started buying their way. They started buying their politicians and such. Reagan was a huge purchase on their part. They really struck it big with Reagan. Let's see. Is that right? Yes. Sorry about the boring project, but it is kind of helping me get this topic out of my head. Oh, I dropped it. So, yeah. It's kind of cool. Dacite is actually a real stone in well, it's a real stone, but it's also a real stone in Dwarf Fortress, which I'm sure you guys are really thrilled about. Let's start putting some of these things back. Actually, well, it's dark. I don't want it to be dark, but see, that's so much better. I don't have to jump. But I was thinking, every other one of these, like so. Okay. So basically, that top marginal tax rate, rate. Somebody will call it that. That rate used their own sociopathic self-interest against them, or used it to actually guide them into good behavior. And which is, that's wrong. Dang it. How did I miss that? Okay, doink. Now, actually, let me take a moment then to shoot. I don't even know what time it is. I mean, I've missed daylight completely. If it's getting dark again, I'm going to have to watch myself. Crap. Whew. Thank you for missing. Sounding dark out. Yeah, it is. Alright, guys. I am going to have to call it. Whoa! How'd you get in here? I'm going to have to figure out what these things are eventually. Alright. We're still cooking. Okay. Let me pick this back up on day 5. And, you know, let me apologize for talking about something less fun but important. You know, kind of political. And apologize for doing it again tomorrow. And thank you for watching anyways. And thank you for liking my video. Great. Have a good night.